Hi, this is Jenny Clark with Solvability, and tonight I've got John Hammerlink with me. Also, I've got Tim Hagerty, and Tim's going to give us a demo of his whiz bang new thing to find teammates called TeamingPro. Take it away, Tim.
All right. Hey, Jenny. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in and give you a quick background as I'm walking through the system just a little bit. But so we built Teaming Pro to help federal contracting companies find teammates. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you like the two main features that most of our customers are currently using. So the very first part is when you register as a company within Teaming Pro, the system builds a search engine for you to find federal opportunities. So the company that we're seeing now, or the data feed that we're seeing now, these are all these are all live federal Fed Biz Ops opportunities that are matched for my company. And so the very first thing that the system does is it matches the opportunities, so I don't have to go search for them. The cool thing is, as I grow as a company, as I win opportunities, contracts, as I grow capabilities, the system picks that up for me and automatically increases my search engine. So it finds other opportunities that are a match for my profile then. So the system's really good at doing that. But the coolest part about it is, for any opportunity, I can click into the Find Teammates button, and the system goes and finds a series of live federal contracting companies that would be a really strong strategic match for that particular opportunity. So all of these companies here have done the same kind of work for the exact same federal contracting customer that is requesting this new opportunity. And the system has a couple of matching algorithms that are patent pending, we'll say, that are really good and tight in the sense that it like scores the companies for us for the companies that are doing the most amount of work in the data points that fit this opportunity. We put them to the top, showing that these are some of the strongest companies for this particular op, meaning that if a small business or anybody else can reach out and team with one of these companies, your probability of winning should go up, because the end customer, like in this case is NASA Shared Services Center, they all have done business with all of these companies before. The higher the points, the more business they've done with them for this kind of work. So these would make really good teammates. So we wanted to build a platform that made it really easy, super simple, and fast for any size federal contracting company to be able to point and click and figure out who would make a really good teammate. So based on that, they can click a button, find the contact information, know a little bit more about that company, how are they doing, who else are they servicing in terms of government customers, how much money are they winning in contract bids, what kind of company are they, so if they have any kind of set-asides, then they're going to show up here, and then of course website if it happens to be one on file. And so with that, made it to where our federal contracting customers can now point and click and find strong strategic teammates. So think about what it takes currently when we want to go find a teammate or build our teaming network. We have to get out there as business developers and shake hands, right? And who are we shaking hands with? Nobody knows, and it's all just so random and haphazard. So we wanted to solve that problem, because that paradigm, it can take months for a company to find a good strategic connection. So here with TeamingPro, it's literally through a click of a button. And so here, like this opportunity with the Navy, here's with the Bureau of Medicine and Surgery for specifically the Naval Medical Center in Portsmouth. Any one of these guys, as a matter of fact, Beckman is going to make the strongest potential teaming partner for this particular opportunity. So we wanted to make it a lot easier for federal contracting companies to just point and click and find teammates. So with this, we are catering to small new businesses who don't have a network and don't want to spend all that time going out there and shaking random hands, all the way to the large top 100 top 100 federal contracting companies who are looking specifically for small businesses to round out their own teams. Okay, hey, do we want to go over some of the other searches? Because one of the other parts that I really love to show is like the past performance search this is a really easy way that we cater to our companies to where, let's say that you want to get into a new agency. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to partner with a company that's already there. So here I'm going to go into, let's look at, what did we do before? DoD. And then, so there are 78,564 active companies that are currently contracting with the DoD, right? That's a big blanket. So let's dive into the Navy. 30,000 there. And these are all of the contracting centers for the Navy. So let's go into one. Let's go into about Military Sea Lift Command. No, here we go. 216 are contracting with, this is called Marmatch. I happen to know this actual command. 216 live companies doing that. So let's say that we want to break it down even further and say we want companies that are in a certain NAICS code. And so one of them do rental leasing. Let's do, sorry, I keep clicking on the wrong one. I want to do high tech. Here we go. 26 of them are in the 541 NAICS codes. And let's say that I just want to break that down. So all of these companies, if I want to get into this specific command here within the Navy, and I don't know anybody there, they don't know me, these are all of the companies that are currently working for them, right? And have current contracts in the 541 NAICS. So this is the NAICS that I talk in, so it's a NAICS that my company's qualified in. And so I'm going to start reaching out to these guys. This is actually twofold also. So one, this is really good. Let's say that you're a company that if you want to try to get on a current contract, like really fast as a subcontractor, these are all the prime contractors that have contracts. So depending on your capabilities, you can start reaching out and seeing if they have any subcontract work that could fit your company. This is actually one of the quickest ways to go and start bringing in revenue for a new federal contracting company all the way to like a mid-sized one that's just looking to get on contract. But start talking to the guys that are actually, or that have won contracts there. And so that's one aspect. And two, if you have an opportunity that you already have in mind that's going to be for this particular command, or someone close to it or like adjacent to it, start talking to the guys that are working in that same kind of capacity, in the same NAICS codes for this same general area, and get yourself in with one of these guys. And so the really good advantage on that is the government customer knows exactly who all of these companies are. And so if you go in to that government customer with someone that they know, your chances go up, basically. So this is one other way that we made it possible for our federal contracting customers to be able to come at it and find teaming partners strategically through current contracts and past performance for that. And then we have some other searches too, like you can find any company by their IDIQ contract there. You can find companies by their capabilities. And so we made it really easy to be able to point and click and find companies, federal contracting companies, active ones, in all sorts of ways, either attached to the opportunity or point and click by past performance or capabilities. We also made it possible to find opportunities that are coming up for recompete. So picture opportunities that are going to be, let's just say, let's go back into the DoD. So these are going to be contracts that are going to be, like expiring within whatever date range we basically want. So let's say that we want, we're looking for the next 6 to 12 months. For the Navy, they're 2777. And let's go back to that same command and look and see. Let's see, that's it. And look and see if they have anything that's kind of coming up for recompete. Is that the right one here? Let's just see if these guys have any. Okay, so MSC Norfolk, Virginia, they have 18 that are coming up that fit a certain criteria. This is a new search that we're going to be releasing very soon. But we wanted to give our federal contracting customers a way to find opportunities that haven't hit the street yet, that still are relevant, but it hasn't been on FBO yet, so it kind of gives you a head start to be able to go and start talking to the contracting officer, start talking to the customer, figuring out which if it's going to make sense, and then if it is, then maybe you can build an even stronger team because you have more lead time. So these are the searches that we've built for our customer base. We cater to new federal contracting customers all the way to the top 100, and every one of them uses it for different reasons. Almost all of them are using it to find teammates in some capacity, but they all use it to find teammates for different reasons why, basically, within the journey of them building their own company. And that's essentially TeamingPro.
Well, Tim, it sounds like you've really pulled a lot of sources together that I used to have to go look separately at.
Yeah. Yeah, so we source from all sorts of governmental databases, over 40 plus currently, reaching into all of the normal ones, but also, especially for the past performance stuff, reaching into acquisition schedules for various commands and all that stuff, right? So if you wanted to say, use the governmental databases on their own, you can go and scour SAM, and of course that's a bit of a nightmare. You can scour all of the other contract databases, and then even that's a little challenging, right? You could scour this. I love bringing this one up, but it's called FAPSIS, which is the naughty or bad boy list, right? So companies that are sometimes in default, or they defrauded, or something bad happened, and the government, puts them on this bad boy list. Hardly anyone knows about it, but we should know this as federal contracting companies. Do we want to do business with a certain company, even if they have the past performance, even if they have the relationship? Are they a stand-up company? Do we want to do business with them? So we pulled all this stuff together within TeamingPro, making it really easy to just point, click, and find them. This is the other really interesting part. So if you think about the way the paradigm works is that when an opportunity comes out on FedBizOps, right? The idea as of right now is that as soon as it hits FBO, it's already too late because it takes too long to build a teaming network that's going to put up a really good bid. And in the way that the system works now, that's a correct thought, because what do we have to do? We got to go shake hands. We got to go find someone who's there. And all that just takes forever through everything that we're just talking about. If you're going to use these other online governmental databases, you can forget it unless it just takes too long. It's too much. So a lot of times companies have to pass because they might be able to do their part in the opportunity, but they don't have a teammate to do the other, And so we are helping to actually change that. So now through TeamingPro, not only can you find the opportunities right away, in fact, the system will find them for you, but now you can point and click and find viable teammates. So you can get a viable teammate in as fast as you can send an email or make a phone call. And so this is how we're looking to disrupt and change the game, basically, for federal contracting by letting any size federal contracting company come in. You pay us a nominal yearly fee, like we're as cheap as $1,000 a year for access to the features that we were seeing here, and to be able to find any teammate from across the entire industry at any given time. And it's important to note that we're not matching it with just companies that register with us. We source every active federal contracting company. We have every federal contracting company in our database, and it's continuously being updated. So this is the data that we're pulling from when we go and give you matches per opportunity.
Hey Tim, this is John. I spend my whole day with Google. And after seeing this, I think Google ought to be worried because this is a heck of a database. And it seems to solve a lot of problems, definitely for government contractors searching for things. Earlier today, we were talking a little bit about finding people. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that, one of the opportunities for the primes is to find smaller companies to team with. Is that what a larger company can use this database for?
Yeah. So larger companies, they need to find small businesses in some cases to front them for opportunities that are coming up for recompete that have gone small, but so they can no longer prime, right? So they need to have a valid small business in their corral, and they also need to find other small businesses to round out their small business set aside goals, right? So I believe it's at like 23% now. It's where picture Lockheed, picture Boeing, AECOM, all of these larger companies. They need to have small businesses on their teams in order to make these goals. And so the way that they're trying to do that now is exactly what you were saying, Google, which is the best tool as of now, right? But now the TeamingPros come along. It's I think Google's going to take a bit of a back seat in this particular instance. But but that's how they do it. So they're Googling and they're trying to find these small businesses. And so so here we are making it to where a large company now can point and click and find a small business by their NICs, by their set aside, past performance, current contracts. So they can not only find a small business, but they can find a viable small business. If they wanted to just find small business by their capabilities, then they can do that too. And just look and see, okay, let's see how many 8As. Oh, here, that's a joint venture. Let's see how many actual 8As. There are 5,219 active 8As within the federal contracting landscape. And so if we wanted to find them for certain NAICS codes, then then the largest use this service for that, right? And so the smaller companies who I'm extremely interested in helping, especially like the small business. I mean, I really built this first. I built it for myself so I could be a better independent business developer, right? But I really want to help the small businesses because there's a huge barrier to entry into the federal contracting space, and that barrier is you have to know the right person, you have to shake the right hand, you have to make the right phone call in order to get on the team. So like when you're new and you're coming in, you can't prime anything because you don't have any past performance. So you have to be a sub, right? So you have to have teammates, and so it's just such a barrier that these business owners who quite frankly are probably experts in what they do. Let's just say it's engineering or it's electrical stuff, or they're experts in that, but they are not experts in business development. And so if there's a CEO out there who's having to go and shake hands and it's uncomfortable, they don't know how to do it very well, and it's slow, and if they don't make the right connection in a period of time, like a nice little period of time, then they really do run the risk of going under, right? And we see this in the numbers. So in the past 3 years, there have been 90,000 new federal contracting companies that come onto the scene on average each year. 90,000 each year. 74,000 on average leave each year, right?
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, and that's 2015, 16, and 17, and for 3 years there. So anyway, but within the first 12 months, and this is the number that really got me. Within the first 12 months, federal contracting companies who enter this space, 24% of them disappear. So let's think about that for a second. So 24% of new companies that come into the space, they either find it too hard to penetrate, right, or too costly to try to do business in the federal space, or just too daunting, right? So,
or it takes too long.
It might take exactly too long. So, and then how long do they have before they run out of revenue or before they hit the wall, right? If a company can survive past the first year, then quite frankly, they're doing pretty good. But they are going to understand, like they're going to have their knees and elbows scraped up in the sense that they've been in a bit of a fight. And now they're going to start to understand, okay, what exactly do I have to do to get more government work? Because the government's not just going to give it to me. So how do I get this? And then, so, I feel that pain. I understand it. And I want to help that. I actually want to help, get rid of it. So I built TeamingPro. So a new company who doesn't know anyone can literally come into the federal contracting industry, point and click and find a viable teammate and get on a team in minutes. If they find the opportunity and then find a teammate and then make a phone call. I mean, it can be as quick as that. And the cool thing is, like, you know, they're absolutely talking to the right people every time if they're finding them through TeamingPro versus going out there and just, you know, haphazardly shaking hand after hand after hand.
Tim, as a new government contractor, you know, this database is a little daunting. You know, I don't know some of those terms yet. You know, I don't know some of the SIT codes yet. I'm not familiar with some of the agencies. Do you have an onboarding process to help people get up and running and utilizing this?
Yeah. So, all right. So, all you have to have is you need to have your SAM.gov record, right? So these are going to be the prerequisites in order to use, you know, to use TeamingPro. You have to have your SAM.gov record, right? You have to have a DUNS number. That's by law. Okay. So those two things. As soon as you set those things up, my engine will actually pick you up out of the SAM.gov database, right? And so once you register with TeamingPro, you actually are already in my database. Here, I'm going to go down here and choose a plan and show you what it looks like, right? So right here, let's just say that your company is called Test Point. Oh, look at that. Test Point's already in there. So testing. Let's do a different one. There we go. This is, I'm going to do one of my test ones here. This is what it looks like to register. I'm going to pick a password. I'm going to say, yes, I agree. And then I'm going to continue on. And look, it told me that I didn't have a valid email address. So the system saves us from that too. All right. Do it again. Okay. Right there, all you do at this point is put your credit card number in. Of course, you get free 30 days, nobody's charged, all that good kind of stuff. As soon as you click this, you are shown this. Okay, and this is already pre-set up for you, so you don't have to know NAICS code, you don't have to know any of that other kind of stuff, and you have to put any other kind of mess in there. I made it to where as soon as you register through that process there, the system picks you up through all of the governmental databases that you're already in, and it sets up the opportunities for you that are already the match. And with each opportunity comes the potential for valid teammates, and literally that's it. So you don't have to, you don't have to maintain anything. You don't have to set anything extra up. You certainly can if you like, but it can be as easy as that. That's how I wanted it to be, because you know what? Quite frankly, running a federal contracting company is hard enough.
That's the shortest learning curve I've ever seen, I think.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm a big believer in making things as easy and simple as humanly possible. And I'll tell you my secret. If my mother-in-law can do it, anybody can do it. So when I code something, if I have her come and point and click and check it out, and if she gets it on the first try, then I know that I've done a good job in my design. Because I want it to be as easy as 1, 2, 3. Point, click, sign, you're in, and then let the system do the work for you. I'm a big believer in that.
I got one more question.
Yes.
Do you pay your mother-in-law for this service?
Yes, I do, and I give her compliments every day.
Okay, that's what she needs, probably.
Yes, I do. But yeah. So. I'm sorry?
This has been a great show.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, thank you, Jenny.
So I guess we ought to just wrap up by saying, what would people need to do if they wanted to hear more, Tim? How do they get you?
Yeah. Come on to teamingpro.com. This contact email, we'll go to our general bank, and if you'd like to send me a message specifically, just put my name in the subject line. This is our main phone number, so it goes into our office there. If you would like to speak with me, you can email me directly at tim.hagerty@teamingpro.com. I'm always happy to give a demo, always happy to go more in depth. We do customized pricing for our, quote unquote corporate pricing. So if you happen to be a larger federal contracting company and you want more seats or more potential capability, all of those kinds of things, you just let me know, and all things are possible. So probably email and/or phone call, but that's going to be the best way to reach me.
Well, I'm really looking forward to having you come down to Tampa for Florida GovCon Summit, because we've got that whole Powering Your Pipeline session that you're going to be running. And I'm thinking there'll be a lot of people standing in line to talk to you, Tim.
Oh, well, I'm really looking forward to it. And thank you very much for the invitation one more time, Jenny. And yeah, any opportunity that I get to speak with small businesses, not necessarily just sell subscriptions to TeamingPro, but to really hear what the biggest challenges are and what can we do as an industry or within the industry to help solve these things collectively, if at all possible. I mean, I think we need more automation, we need more tools, more things that make it easier for the small business to do business. And that's why I really loved your Florida GovCon. And speaking with John here, with his with the services that he offers through the SEO part, everything that we can do to make it easier for the federal contracting customers, for federal contracting business, I'm all about that. So thank you very much for the invitation. Really appreciate it.
All right. Well, that sounds great. John, you got anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, I think it's a good time to wrap up. I agree with Tim. I mean, there's technology out there that needs to be leveraged, and the fact that Tim has, collated these databases so they're in one place and easy to use, because even when I was in the government, I couldn't figure out how to use these databases, let alone if I was a new contractor. So I think this is super. It's really got to help people find opportunities.
All right. Yeah. Well, I will see you guys in Tampa in a few weeks then.
All right.
Thanks,
all right. Well, bye-bye.